Hello, and welcome to this complete Linux course for beginners. My name is Chris, and I will be your instructor in this course. I made this course very beginner friendly so that anyone who doesn't know anything about Linux will not be lost, but will be having fun while learning the Linux operating system. And after taking this course, you will be well qualified enough to get your dream IT job. This is going to be a practical course, so it is very handy if you practice along while you are watching the video. Bring your computer around. This course is composed by 9 parts, which are the basic Linux concepts, downloading Linux, perform installation and do all the required configurations, Linux access and file system, Linux basic commands and structure, system administration, shell scripting, networking and services, disk management, and lastly we'll cover all about resume and interview. This course is for beginners, medium, and a hand refresher to Linux advanced users. You can jump to the specific part among the above topics if you want to get the knowledge on your favorite topic. So, what you waiting for? Let's jump to the course and get our hands dirty. Before we can jump to further ado, we have to know what Linux is. What is Linux? Of course, Linux is an operating system like any other popular operating systems like macOS and Windows. The concept of an operating system is to sit in the middle of hardware and users. So it means you can be having a computer that is composed by all hardware but cannot be able to function when there is no operating system installed. It is like a book with blank pages. We need operating system to manage hardware, provide networking, help us to manage users, ensure the proper organization of files, and so on. When we are trying to install operating system from different medias, there are some steps that we have to take to ensure the proper configuration is set before doing any other job. We will cover the installation soon. Where we are still here, let's see the difference between Linux and Unix. Well, let's cover some history really quick. Unix was developed in the mid-1970s in Bell Labs by AT&T and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. In 1991, the Linux was born under the hard work of Linus Torvalds. Linux became so popular and interesting due to that it was mostly free, open source, came in different distributions so everyone can have the right tool for the right job, and Linux is able to support various devices up to mobile devices. Here are some popular Linux distributions: Red Hat, Ubuntu, CentOS, Fedora, Debian, and SUSE. Linux is applicable in different areas like airport, data centers, healthcare, education, data science, and much more. So having the knowledge on how to use it the proper way can bring you a lucrative job that will change your life. To get started, we have to perform the installation first. Let's jump straight to it. Alright, during this course, we'll be using Linux as a virtual machine. And as you can see, I'm using my Windows 10 as my host machine. So to make the virtual machine, there will be some requirements. First of all, I will have to download the image. It can be from different distributions as I cited earlier. In this case, I'm going to use Ubuntu. And there is no special case that is suggesting me to use Ubuntu. As long as you get the job done, there is no problem about using it. When you try to type Ubuntu in Chrome, it will bring all this one. You can follow the link so you can go and accept all this. And you can go ahead and download the image. In this case, for the current recording of this, the 21.04 is the current version. You can go ahead and press here to download this one. and it will start downloading. And that is the step 1 for this virtual environment to work. The second step, and I am having this image, I can go ahead and cancel. I was about showcasing on how to get this one, but I own it on my machine and there's no need to waste time on that one. And the second software that we are going to download is what we call a hypervisor. A hypervisor, I can use Oracle, I can use VMware, but I like to use Oracle VirtualBox like this one. And you press on this, and the first link that will come will be from virtualbox.org. Go ahead and click on here, and it will bring the download button, and you will see the current version is 6.1 by the time of recording this video. Go ahead and press on download, and it will bring all the variable hosts. In this case, I'm using the Windows host, and I'm going to click on Windows host here. After that, it will start downloading. The setup is not heavy. I'm going to speed up so as I will come when it is done. Once this is complete, you can go ahead and click here to show it in folder, and you can perform the installation. You go on the setup to double click to open the setup, and it will open in a bit. Let's close this Chrome because we no longer need it by this time, and it will bring this installer wizard. You can go ahead and press next, and press next again. Leave all these as they are, and you can check for this one if you want to uncheck some or check others. You can go ahead and lead, but I don't want to uncheck anything. I want to leave the defaults. Go ahead and press next, and it will warn us that it will have to reset our network connection and temporarily disconnect from network. If you have anything that is requiring you to have internet, you have to be aware that it will have to disconnect for some reasons. Okay, go ahead and press yes, and press install, and the installation will start like this. Go ahead and install this one. Press on install. We have to trust software from Oracle Corporation. Go ahead and press install. Alright, cool. You can see that our installation is complete, and it is now by default checked so as we can start Oracle VM VirtualBox after installation. And of course, we want to start it after installation. Go ahead and press next, and you can see that I have this Ubuntu image that we are going to use. I'm going to go ahead and close this one. The location is in download. So let our VirtualBox start, then we will continue with the further steps. Alright, it will bring this window like this one. This is now how it looks for the first time when you open it, with no any virtual machine created nor opened. And you can see there are a lot of icons here, but the one that we are going to use and what we are interested in is to create a new virtual machine. So go ahead and press on new, and it will bring this one, and we have to choose the name of our operating system. In this case, I'm going to call it Ubuntu Linux, like this one, Ubuntu Linux. Okay, you can call it whatever you want, and it will show us where our machine is going to be saved. In this case, it will be saved in this location. And the type of the operating system, of course, it has detected it automatically. It is Linux, and in this case, the version is Ubuntu 64-bit. Okay, we are now right from here. Go ahead and press next, and it will ask us to allocate the memory, and the memory that we're going to allocate is the random access memory, or the RAM. When you reach here, pay attention, because you can't allocate the memory that is greater than the one that you have on your host machine. In this case, I am having 8 GB of RAM, and I'm going to divide in half, and that will be 4 GB of RAM that I'm going to give this virtual machine, so as my computer will run smoothly without any hiccup. So I will go ahead and press next, and it will also ask us to create a virtual hard disk, and I'm going to to leave this as it is, and I will choose create, and I will choose this one, VirtualBox disk image, press next, and I will leave dynamically allocated to, press next again, and I will have to allocate the size of my disk. And you can allocate the size of the disk according to the disk amount you have on your host machine too. Okay, I'm going to allocate this one. I'm going to give it like 32, 35 gigabytes are enough for this Ubuntu Linux to run smoothly. I'm going to go ahead and press on create. After that, you can see that we no longer have an empty canvas on this VirtualBox manager. I called it a canvas for no further reason. That is the specific name I called it. And after we are here, you can go on the settings. And after you go to the settings, you can go where it is called storage. And we will see where there is this controller IDE. There is now empty because there is no image selected. When you press on empty and you hand over to the right side, you will see this disk here. Go ahead and press on this one, and it will ask you to choose a disk file. In this case, I'm going to choose option 2, which is for choosing the disk file. I will click on this one, and I will have to navigate my system to where my disk is saved. In this case, I saved my Ubuntu disk on the download folder because that is where it was saved after downloading this one. So I am going to go ahead and place on this one and press open. And you can see that we are no longer having the empty space. After that, you can go ahead and press OK. And you are now ready to start our machine. To start our virtual machine, you go ahead and press on start. And it can take a very short time to start according to the speed of your computer. Alright, it is started behind this one, but you can go ahead and press on here to bring it up front. There we go. It will be like this one, and you can go ahead and press enter. And we wait for it to boot. Alright, once it is now boot and I load all those stuffs, we will reach here where it is now giving us two options. The first one is to try the Ubuntu Linux without installation. In this case, when you try to boot like this one, you can go ahead and perform many actions, but when the computer is shut down, your files and your configuration will be lost forever. And there is a second option which is for installing Ubuntu, and that is the one that we are going to try because that is the lifetime one that we can trust that our documents, our organization of files, our configurations will be saved and will be secure enough. Go ahead and press on install Ubuntu, and you wait, and it will ask us for choosing the keyboard layout. I like to leave this English US. If you have another keyboard layout, you can go ahead and configure it from here. I'm going to leave that as it is. Go ahead and press continue. And to tell me that you want to download and update my system while performing the installation, okay, I'm okay with that one. I can go ahead and press on continue. And when we reach here, it is asking for the installation type. And if you want to select the entire disk and you don't care about the files that can be erased, you can go ahead and choose the first option. But if you want to try another option, you can go on something else here, and you will have to organize your partitions for however you need, because this is the virtual machine. All settings will be on the disk itself, and there is no need to customize anything here. Go ahead and press on install now, and it will give us this warning that it is going to format this disk as this file format and this as this. We will see along the videos what this means. So go ahead and press on continue, and it will detect our region automatically, and you can choose wherever you are. In this case, it is suggesting me that I'm in Kigali. I don't know where I am now, so I'm going to leave it as it is. You can go ahead and press continue, and here it will ask me for my name. Okay, my name is Chris. I'm going to use my real name here, Chris. and my computer's name will be called Chris hyphen VirtualBox. I can go ahead and change this. I can call it Chris Hano like this, and the username that would be used, it is now this Chris in lowercase, and here it is where you can create your password. Go ahead and create the password. Let me create some here. Okay, and you can repeat the password. Okay, like this one. And after we do that, go ahead and press on continue, and you can see now the installation processes are going on, so we have to wait for this to be done. All right, and you can see that the installation is complete. We can go ahead and press restart so as to restart this system to see if it works. Go ahead and press restart, and it will ask me to remove the installation medium, then press enter. Go ahead and press enter, and it will boot again, so you have to wait for it to boot. Alright, when I reach here, it will bring my user as this one, as I have previously created it as Chris. When I try to access my user, I can go ahead and put my password real quick and press enter to login. Alright, and this is the welcome screen for this Linux, and you can wait for this. And if you are having a very short resolution like mine, you can follow me around to change some settings here. You can go ahead and click on here. Let's wait for other things to load here. Alright, you go ahead and press on skip. We don't want to connect any online account. You can go ahead and press next for this. And you can press next again and press done. There we go, and we'll be having this Ubuntu Linux ready to go. But as I was saying, if you have a very short resolution like this one and you want to put it in full screen, you can go ahead and go in the settings, like here, go in the settings. There you go. When you reach in the settings, go down all the way down to where it is written displays. When you reach to displays, you will see where there is a resolution, and you can go ahead and you can mess around with this one according to the size of your computer. In this case, I'm going to try put this one to see how it will look like. I will go ahead and press apply, and it will look like this one, and I'm happy with this. And it will ask to keep change, so I want to keep this change. And you can see now our screen is a little bit of big. I can go ahead and close this one, and after I close that one, you can try to make this full screen so as to have it in full screen mode. Go ahead and go on the view and go on the full screen mode, and to warn us, we have to switch to full screen mode like this one. And as we are seeing here, you have this Ubuntu Linux set in our Windows 10, and it is running in virtual machine. That is basically how you can install and configure this virtual machine of Ubuntu, and I will see you guys in the next video where we are going to get started. Alright, welcome back. Since our installation was done and our Ubuntu Linux is ready to work, we are going to continue with the file system and file access. First of all, we have to know the reason of file system and file access. We need the file system so as to organize our files, and so as to be able to separate the operating system files and the user files. While we are still here, you can see that we have this GUI, but when you are using Linux, we will be using what we call a terminal. To open the terminal, we have to press Ctrl-RT, that is the shortcut, or we can go on the desktop and open it in a terminal like this one, and to start, and the terminal will look like this one. And when we are still here, this terminal is the thingy or the first interface that we really have to use in order to contact the operating system, in order to tell our Linux what to do. And when we are using Linux, we have two types of users. We have what we call a root user and a regular user or some other users. The root user is denoted by specific symbols. We will see them in a bit. But I want you to take a closer look on this terminal, how it looks like. You can see I have this Chris, which is the first one. I have this art, and I have this Chris VirtualBox. And I have this symbol, and this one, and this, and this. First of all, this Chris is my username. Remember, when we were creating this virtual machine, I used the Chris as my username. And Chris/VirtualBox is my host name. So, you can change this later on a regular basis when you need to. But for this time, my host name is called Chris-VirtualBox. Okay, moving on. I was saying about the symbols. When you see this symbol here, that is called tilde. The tilde symbol indicates the home directory. For example, let's see, there is a command that is called change directory. This is the command that is used to navigate from one place to another one. Don't worry, we will see how it works. And when we take a closer look after the tilde, we have this $sign. This $sign indicates that we are using the regular user, not the root user. When you try to log in as a root, it will be changed to a hashtag. And we'll see that in a bit too. And there is another specific symbol, which is this one, this slash, and this slash indicates the root directory. The directory in Linux is a folder. It is the same as a folder in Windows. Okay, moving on. When we try to use the command that's called pwd, it is what we call print working directory, it will give you the information on the directory that you are working on. In this case, I'm in home and I'm in a place. To change the directory from one location to another one, for example, I can choose to choose from root that I was talking about, and I can use cd, which is called change directory, and I can put this slash so that I will be on the top level of my file system. And when I press enter, you can see that this tilde is gone, but I am in this directory, which is the root directory. The root directory is the directory that is very, very different to the root user. I have seen many students and other people confuse that, but the root directory is the upper directory that holds everything. When we are still here, we can see another handful command that is called ls. And this ls command is used to list all the contents of the directory. In this case, when I type ls, let me create the screen. When I type ls while I am in this root, it will show me all the folders that are contained there. And you will see all that, what they do and how they are organized in a bit. Okay. While we are still here, the file structure of Linux is composed of different folders and files, and each thing that we perform here have the specific location where it is located. And as we type the commands, they will be from different location. As we try to make a configuration, the location that we will be using, and you're going to see all the structure of the files and the function of each. Okay, moving on. We are still in the root, and we have used ls to list all the directory contents. So we can go ahead and see what every file or folder here do in a bit. And when we try to list in a long list by adding an option of R, this means that we are going to list our contents, but in a long list, we can see there is a long list of these folders that we are going to see what they do. The first directory that is from the when we are from the root is called the boot, and the boot directory is the directory that contains the file that is used by the bootloader or the grub.cfg file. So as when you are trying to boot the operating system, it will go and contact that file that will it will contain all the information about the bootloader so as to boot up our operating system. To access it, you can use change directory, and you can go on the boot like this one, and we can see now we are in boot. When you try to see this structure, when you type ls to list the content of this loot, there will be another folder that is called grub, and this grub is the one that is bootloader is contained. When I try to change directory and go to grub like this one and try to list the directory content, you can see the grub.cfg file I was talking about is here. So this file, you can see if you have multiple operating system running on your computer, or you have set your Linux in a dual boot environment, you will see there will be some other grub folders here. Moving on, when you want to come back to the previous loot, to the previous directory you are in, you can use cd cd and press enter to come to boot. When you try to do this again, it will come back to the root. Okay, moving on, the second directory is called the root, and the root directory is not the same as the upper root. I will have to clarify this one. The root directory is the directory for the root user. I was talking about the users here. I was saying the normal user and the root user, who is considered as administrator. He or she will have the specific folder that is called cd, that is called root. Okay, when I try to list the content, I can see there is a root folder here. But when we try to access it, because we are not in the root, it will have to give us the error that the permission is denied, because this folder is for the root user only. You can't access it while we are not root. Okay, moving on, the third file is called the /dev. This /dev, it will it can be the short for device as this dev. To access it, you can go ahead and type cd dev like this, and you press enter, and this will show you the system devices and peripherals. And when you try to take a closer look, we will see a long list of here, and when we reach on the advanced level, we will see how to mess up with all these files. Okay, let's move again, and the other folder that is specific is called etc folder. The etc folder is where all the configuration files are contained and are kept. So as if you want to make any configuration about your Linux operating system, you will have to navigate to the etc folder so as to make whatever you want. So when I type cd and put etc, I will see that I am in etc now. And when I try to list the content of etc, you can see there will be the file that ends with .conf, and the .conf is the configuration file, of course, so that if you want to make a configuration on your sources.list or other things, we can come in this folder or directory. Okay, I like to use a folder, but you can think it as a directory because we are in Linux. Okay, there will be another directory that is called bin, and the bin directory is the directory that contains all the everyday user commands. Okay, when you try to go in the bin and you list the content of this directory, is all the commands that you will be using in the Linux will be in here. So you can go and navigate to see where the command is located, so as you can go ahead and check whatever it do or any other information that we'll see in the coming lessons. Okay, moving on. While we are still on bin, there will be another sbin, which is for the system commands only. When I try to change for sbin like this one, and in this case, when I try to list all the contents, I will see that the commands that are in here are for the system, that they are specific for the system only. Okay, and moving on, there will be also another directory that is called opt. So to access the opt directory, you can use cd again and go in the opt. And what opt do, it is also used to for additional or optional add-on operation, and it is not the part of operating system, of course. And this is the folder where or the directory where I can put all our third-party files or any other software dependencies. They can be kept in this opt folder or directory, whatever you can call it. Okay, moving on, there is another directory that is called Let's come back again. There is another directory that is called block, like this one, /block or plock, to depend on how you want to spell it. And this one is used to store all the processes. And when we are booting up the Linux and there is no process going on, when you check this proc file, we find that's empty. But this time, because there are many processes that are running on this computer, you will see that there will be a lot of information here. So you can go ahead and mess this up in your computer and you can see all the result. Okay, moving on. There will be another directory that is called lib, like this one. It is /lib, like this, lib. I was thinking about bin, and this is the directory that contains all the C programming library files needed for apps and other commands. And as we were saying about the Linux history and the evolution, and maybe I forgot to tell you that the Linux is coded in C. It is coded in C programming languages. So this lib is the directory that contain all the files needed by apps and commands, which are the library files. All right, moving on. And in this load folder again, there will be another directory that is called tmp or temp, and this will be used to hold the temporary files that are used by other programs or software to execute a different command. So this is where they are kept in the temp memory or the temp directory. Okay, moving on, there is another folder or another directory that is called the home. So you can go in the home, and this is now the directory for the regular user. When you try to list this one, you will see that I have this Chris. When I try to navigate to Chris and I read the content from Chris, I can see I have my desktop, I have documents, downloads, music, pictures, public, templates, and videos. Those are the default folder for every Ubuntu user. So you can go ahead and mess with this to see if you have the same result as mine. Okay, moving on, when you try to go again in this, and there is another var directory like this one, /var, and this var is very, very useful when you want to keep track of the logs and all things that happened on your operating system while you are booting, while you are performing updates, while you are doing or troubleshooting things. This var is the one that we have to keep all the logs or the history of the processes or actions that was done on the computer. So when you try to list this var, and you can go in the log folder or directory, when you try to list, we will see there is a lot of logs file that you can go in here and you can toggle around to see wherever you need to see. If you want to see the users logged in, if you want to see the things happened, how the update goes. Okay, that's where we will find that one. Okay, moving on, there will be another directory that is called LAN, and this is called this is used to hold all the system daemons that start exactly, and the daemons are the background processes. If you don't know the specific name for daemons, those are the background processes that are started when the operating system is functioning up, and you don't have to see them in action whenever you are working in a normal condition. But if you want to see how all the background processes that are running, you can use other commands that we will see in the further videos on how to manage the processes running on your computer. Okay, moving on, there will be the time that we will need to mount our external files or the USB sticks or other things, and you can use this is where it is contained. It is in MNT. And when you try to list, okay, I made a typo. When you try to list the content of this one, because I don't have anything mounted, you can see there is nothing returned. And if you want to use the long list, okay, you can see that there is a total of 0 items in this folder. So it means that it doesn't contain anything. But when I try to mount my flash disk or external USB HDD, it will be in this, so as I can initialize it. And other directory, let me come back, is called as /media, and this is now the I didn't put cd here. And this directory is for CD-ROM mounts. If you have a computer that supports the CD-ROM, you can go ahead and access it by navigating through this media folder. And those are the directories that you can see in the Linux operating system. And I hope you played around to see what they contain, and we have to make fun things when we are going. And while I'm still here, I am going to show you another thing before I cross this session. When you are using the terminal, there will be the time that you will be stuck, and you can see that this prompt or this cursor that is blinking have changed to anything. For example, I can say I can use, for example, this command, and then I can pipe. We'll see what pipe is. When I pipe to anything, I will be having this one, and you can be stuck that when you try to press enter, you can do anything before you exit this mode. To exit this one, you go ahead and press Ctrl C to escape from that one. And for example, for another instance, you can use the cat command. You can see there's nothing that we can do to go back, but when you try to use Ctrl C, you can go back to the prompt where you were. And when you try also to using other commands like top, you can see that it can be stuck like here, so as to escape or to move from here, you can go ahead and press Ctrl C to go out from there. Okay guys, I don't want the sections to be long, that's why I am going to stop by here. I will come back and I will show you all the basic commands and command structure in the next one. I hope you have a glimpse on the Linux file system, and I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, welcome back. Let's continue with our course, and I'm going to show you the basic commands, and I will show you the command structure, how the command is structured while we are using it in this terminal. And as you can see, I have my terminal opened. You can go ahead and open yours. I have shown you how to open this one. And before we start, I have to mention that the Linux commands are case sensitive. So it means that when you are trying to write like CD like this one, it will be totally different to writing CD like this one in capital letter. So pay attention. Most of the times you can meet with errors when you try to use the uppercase letters or the capital letters. While you are still here, you can go ahead and use pwd to say where we are. In this case, we are in home, please, and that is the home directory. First command that we're going to see is the command that is used to create the directory or create the folder. The command is called mkdir like this one, and you can specify the name of the folder that you want to create. In this case, I'm going to create a directory that is called Linux course like this one. And by convention, you have to, if you see that in your name you need to use a space, it is not good to use a space in your name because it can cause some errors. So it is better to use underscore or the hyphen so as to avoid error in your names. So or you can use Linux and you can use course like this one in capital so as to be able to differentiate what is it about, right? Go ahead and press enter, and when you type errors and take a closer look, you are seeing that you have this Linux course folder, and you can go ahead and navigate through it, and it is called Linux like this one. And the quick thing here, when you are using the terminal and you type the command, it is better to use the command auto completion. The command auto completion works in this way. When you try to write like RI and press the tab key, it will complete our command by itself. So this is very handy if you are working and you want to increase the productivity. Go ahead and press enter, and when you try to list the content in this directory, you can see that there is nothing. There is the second way to make the directory but with a path, so that I can make another subdirectory in this directory. To make that one, I can use mkdir like this, and I use the P like this one, and I can make like introduction, and under introduction I want another directory that is called part 1, for example, and under part 1 I want to make another that is called warm up, for example, warm-up like this. And what this will do is to will create this introduction folder or directory, and under the introduction to create another part1 directory, and to create also the warm-up directory. When you hit enter and you try to list the content, you can see that you have the introduction directory in this. You can see it here. And when you try to navigate to the introduction, you can also list the content, and you can see that I have the part 1. And when I try to navigate to the part 1, oops, and try to enter, and you can see it is now the one that is contained in the warm-up. And you can also go back, and you can navigate to the warm-up folder like this. There you go. And when you try to read, you can see there is the end of listing, or the end of listing capacity. Okay. And when you take a closer look for this path, you can see that we have came from Linux course to the introduction to the part 1 to the warm-up. In this case, when I am here, the thing that I'm going to perform on this terminal will be saved under this directory. Okay, when you want to go back to the home, you can use two methods. For example, you can use change directory, and I put this tilde, the symbol of tilde. This indicates the home directory. When I press enter, you can see that I am in my home directory. While you are still here, I'm going to show you another commands. For example, I want to display the calendar. When you type car, it will display the calendar and the current month that I am in, and you can see I'm in October. If you want to show the calendar for the whole year, you can use the option Y to bring all this, and you can see that to bring all the months, so that when you want to make some timestamps or any other planning according to the dates, you can go and plan it using this calendar. This calendar have many options, and you are not going to cover it in this video. We can cover some of them, like car, and you put your specific year, for example the year you was born in. And when I try to access the year of 1000, this is crazy, and the year of 1000, this is the year, this is how it was structured. And you can use this to make fun when you want to check the date that you were born on. For example, I can put like 99, and I can come and navigate, or I can put like 994, and you can mess around with this one, and you can put, for example, 2021. There you go. You can go ahead and make fun of that by practicing that one. Another handy command is called the history. The history command will show you all the commands that you have typed on your terminal, and you can see this is the list of all the commands that we were using on this Linux. So if you want to clear them, I'm going to show you how to clean or to clear all the commands, because you don't want for someone unexpected to come and see what you were doing on your system. So you have to keep the history clean and neat, so as there's no one who can track whatever you did, if it is your boss or any other one. Okay, you get the point. Okay. And you can also use the hotkey to learn the commands that you were previously learning. For example, I can say that I want to list this, I want to use this one, and you can see it is on the level of 17. I can put the exclamation mark and put 17, and it will learn the commands. And you can do the same for other commands. For example, I can put exclamation mark, and I put let's say I want to ls, and ls it was on 3. When I do this, to do the same, and to have to come to bring back the commands that it was in that number that we specified. Okay, to create the history, you can use it like this one, history, and you can give the option of -c so as to clear. When you do this and you try to write the history again like this, you can see that there is nothing in here except the history command that we typed like this one. It will capture it like now, and it will bring it back to you. And this means nothing when someone is going to spy on you. So this is very handy. I know that you will like this one. There will be the time that when you will have to display the date, you can go ahead and press date, like as simple as this one. It will return the day, the month, the date, and the current number, and the time zone and the year. You can go ahead and try that one. And you can also try another command that is called who am I, and who am I is used to list the username or the current username, the user that is learning on this system. In this case, I'm Chris. That is the one that it's outputted there. And there's in some case when we will need to make files, or when I want to make some kind of specific file. For example, I may say I want to make a file that will contain all the logs or other things that I want to keep in a specific manner. And I will first have to navigate to my specific directory, or I can list it in my home directory. For example, I can touch, and you use this command which is called touch, and you can specify the name that you want to give your file. For example, I want to use this Chris backup info.txt. .txt will specify that it is a text file. You can give it .ppt.doc, and you can give all of the extension that you need. But in Linux, extension doesn't matter, and you will see that in coming videos. When you go ahead and press enter, it will automatically create that file. It is empty file that is called Chris backup info.txt. When I try to do like ls, you can see it here. It was created, and while I'm still here, I can show you also how to rename the file and how to remove the file. For example, I want to rename this, and I see that it wasn't a backup. For example, it was a timestamp, and I can use the mv. Mv is used to do two tasks. It can be used to rename file, and it can be used also to move file from one location to another one. For example, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to bring my file back here, and I can name it to something else like Chris the timestamp info, like this one. And what it will do, as you can see that I wrote mv and Chris backup info as the first argument, and the second argument will be the name that you want that file to hold. So when I go ahead and press enter and try to list my content again, you can see that the Chris timestamp info is now renamed, so I'm good to go. Okay, so I am going to show you the second way on why you can use the mv. When I try to use mv and I type the name of my file and I specify the location, for example, I'm going to list the desktop like this one. The reason I put this tilde and desktop, that is the syntax that you use when you are trying to use the location inside another command. And when you go ahead and press enter, it will automatically move the file from that directory. When I try to list, when I try to list like this one, you can see that there is no file contained in here, but it was successfully moved to my desktop. When I try to access my desktop in using my terminal desktop, and I type ls, you can see that my Chris timestamp file have been moved successfully to here. I can move it back to the home directory by using mv again. I can type it's called like this one, and you can specify the home only. I can go and type enter. When I type cd and go in the home directory, let me delete this one, and you can see that the Chris timestamp info is here. That was for the renaming. There is another command that is used to delete the entry or to delete the files and folders in your Linux operating system or Linux machine, and it is called rm. And this rm is used to remove the files or folder in a recursive way. In a recursive way, it is thing that it will delete it no matter what it contains, whether it is empty or it is full of contents. So you will have to pay attention when you are using this one, and it will have to be given the option of R, which is now the recursive delete. We will see how to perform all of this in the further videos, but I want you guys to see how it is done. And I can specify my name. It was called like this one. When I press enter, it will automatically delete the file. So when I try to do ls again, you can see that my file is no longer located in my home directory and it was deleted. And the rm also have another derivative of self that is called rmdir, like this one, and this one is to remove the empty directory. When you are using this command, you can't delete a directory that contain contents. For example, let me make a directory real quick here and call it test. And when I try to list the content, you can see my directory test is here. When I try to use rmdir and I put test, it will delete this directory. When you try to list again, you can see that there is no directory that is called test in this home directory, but here it was. So it means that it deleted our directory successfully. For example, when I am trying to use the same concept to delete like my Linux course folder like this one, it will not be able to delete it because it is not the empty directory. You have to pay attention when you get there. Okay, while I'm still here, you have seen me doing something when I was having a lot of things, and then I was to create the terminal, and I didn't give you something of on how you can create the terminal. So to create the terminal, you can use the hotkey, which is for Ctrl L, or you can use the clear like this one to go ahead and create a terminal. For example, if I try to list the content and I want to clear the terminal, I can put like that one, and when I want to clear like this one, to do the same. Okay, so I hope so far so good. We have covered the root. So I'm going to show you again the other command that is very helpful, which is called which. The which command will try to show us the path or the location of the command that we will specify. For example, so if I say which car, and this is the command for calendar, it will bring me the path or the on the file system where it is located. And we are moving to the command structure, and as we were typing the commands, we were typing that like random, but we didn't. We were also following the command structure and how it is structured. First of all, we have to have the command name, and the second will be options, and the last one will be the input, like this one. So the first one will be the command name, and we will specify the command name itself. And the second thing that we are going to do is to specify the options that is going to perform, and the input of the command. Okay, we can see this in action. For example, I may pick like calendar as an individual command, and when I put space and I try to add a hyphen, I'm specifying the option. For example, I want to specify the hyphen A, and I want to specify, for example, 2021, and or structured not the proper way. For example, I can say like okay, let me say calendar Y like this one, and I put like this one, and to bring this one. And if you take a closer look, you can see that this was the command itself, this was the option, and this was the input. You can use two types of input. For example, I can use the long form option or the short form option. For example, let me try to use the ls command. I can choose to use ls like and put a like this one, and it will bring all the contents including the hidden files. When I try to use the long form format, I can proceed like this one. I can do like ls, and I put hyphen or. And when you are using the long form commands, we need to specify the two hyphens and put the a word in itself. And if I want to list or, I will put or. If I want to list human readable, I will do that. And you can go ahead and experience more by using this one. I will have to show you how to make a research on how to use this. And for example, I can use ls, and I can put hyphen help, and it will bring me all this. And we can go ahead and try for some here so as to see what it does. This is for the or, almost or, ignore backups, directly, clarify, no group, human readable. I was saying that one. And you can go ahead and try, for example, for a human readable, let's say ls hyphen human, put type tab, it will bring the human readable. It will bring like this one. I can bring the rest, for example, can put the short form, and they can use the human readable but in a risky way by using these arguments. And I hope guys you are getting the glimpse on how to use this one. This was the basic commands that you can use in Linux so as to get started. And I hope guys you find this very helpful and interesting, and you are making this progress. Congratulations. Let's stop by here and we will continue with another one. Alright, let's continue to where we were. And last time I was telling you all about listing files, creating directories, and many more, but there are some uncovered parts that I want to cover very quick so as to move without anything left over. So we are going to see how we can copy the files. So and I will introduce the new command which is called the cp, or simply the copy. Let me try to make a new file. For example, let me make a touch and I call it IP address .txt. And I want to copy this IP address to my desktop, and I can go ahead and use a cp IP address like this one, and I will specify the desktop by like this one. And in this case, when I press enter, the file will be copied in the desktop and it will be still on my location. When I try to list this content, it will be available, and it will be also available on the desktop too. And you can operate this or this copy, delete, and rename to the directories too, because they work on every aspect of Linux asset or object. And there is another command that is very helpful that I have to show you for real quick, and that command is called echo or echo. It is used to display a message that you will pass between these two quotations. For example, I can say hello students, thanks for enrolling in this course, like this one. When I cross like this and then I press enter, it will bring up this message that I have provided in these two quotations. Okay, and there will be some time when you have to make another files, or you want to make files by using another methods, or you want to do some kind of memo while you are still on the terminal, and that's where you can use the cat command. And the cat command, what it will do, it will help us to transform our terminal into like a bright canvas where you can write anything like hello, my name is Chris and I am your instructor, like this one. And when you press enter, you can go ahead and add all other things you can need to add. Welcome to my course, like this one. And as you can see that we have the endless canvas on where you can write our things, so as if you want to keep them on somewhere, you can use this cat command. The cat command is very useful, and it have a lot of use that you will see in a bit, and I hope in this video you will see the cat command in action. So I was introducing this in order to give you the overview on how it works. So as I was saying, if you are stuck here, you can go ahead and press Ctrl+C, and you're going to cover another part that is concerned about the manual pages. Linux manual pages are the pages that gives us the help or give us the instruction manual on how to use a certain command. Maybe you know a command but you don't know the structure on how to use it, you don't know the arguments to give it, you don't know its options, but you know that the command exists. For example, I have the command that is called the car, and I can go ahead and I can use this man means manual page, and when I try to write car like this one, it will have to bring the manual page about this calendar, and I will have to check this car command and what it does. Alright, when we press enter, it will bring the interface like this one, and when you take a closer look, you can see the car or any car to display calendar and the date of the Easter or a year. You know, there is these options, there is the options, this one, and you can go ahead and read through this one. And if you want to have a quick a quick understanding of any command, you can go ahead and try like man, for example, IP, and it can give you how the name of the command, the synopsis on how it is used, and all the options that are available. You can go ahead and when you want to escape from here, you type Q to quit, and you can go ahead and check the commands that we have previously using. For example, touch, you can go ahead and see what it does, and you can have an overview on the what you can do using this material. And there will be the time that we will be needing to specify the special keyword for our search to be accurate, and you can use the manual page to do that. For example, I want to use man, and I can give the option K to give the specific keyword. For example, I want to see all about partition. Maybe you don't know the command, or you don't know where you can find the partition. You can use the man -K and you put that in quotation so as to be treated as a string. When you try to press, it will give you all the possible commands that you can try, and you access the partition or other thing that is related to partition. I can go ahead and change this, and I can put, for example, like for example, backup, to see if it will show us anything, and you can see that it is showing us, for example, it said for the process. You can see there is a bunch of commands that you can go ahead and you try while you are dealing with processes. You will see that in further videos on how to deal with processes. And there is another quick thing that I want to show you. If you want to bring back the command that you run area, you can go ahead and press arrow key up or arrow key down to see all those commands so that you can execute them again, like this one. If I want to learn that command again, I can use that method. And there is another way of getting the usage on how a command works by using the help. And to use that, you can use the, for example, car, and I can type --help in plain text like this one. If it is supported the help that is provided like this one, it will bring it, but there will be the time that you will see, for example, for this command, you can see now this is invalid. You can use this you can use the manual page if you see this it doesn't work. But for example, let me say I want to use rs, for example, rs, and I can do like this one, and to bring the help on our terminal without navigating to the manual page. And I hope you guys will find this very handy and useful. Okay, while we continue, I was showing you on how to search for a keyword by using the manual page. There is another command that is called apropos that is performing the same task as man -K. When I type apropos, and for example, I can put like drive, like this one, and it will bring the same as we can use for the man -K, and it will take a specific part that we specified on the import as a string, and to search for the system for the command that can be used to perform the action that is related to that one. Okay, let's continue our course. And there is now I was saying that the man and help, they have difference. The difference is that man can be used the way we want to display manual pages in itself, and the help can be used when we want to list the help or the quick help in our terminal, so that we can go ahead and follow the options that we are given so as to see what's going on there. Let's see also the Linux data streams. The Linux data streams are composed by 3 parts. The first one is what you call the standard input, and the second one is called the standard output, and the last one is called the standard error. And the standard input is denoted by 0, standard output is denoted by 1, and the standard error is denoted by 2. You can ask yourself, what is this one? And all these Linux data streams will be used when we are doing what we call redirection. So what is redirection? Redirection is the way you can take a specific part or the specific output of your commands or other thing, and you want to store it on other things somewhere, or you want to bring those things that you stored on the terminal. Enough of talking, let's see that in action. I was saying about the cat command. For example, I want to make we are going to start by the standard output. For example, I can use the cat command, and by using the cat command, I'm not going to use the cat command by itself, but I'm going to do what we call the redirection. Redirection is denoted by this angular sign, and you can choose for before you do that, you can specify the number. For example, 1 is for the standard output, and you put the redirection, and you can put the space, and you can put the specific name that you want. And in this case, when I say, for example, example.txt, like this one, it will have to bring the cat, but it will also have to keep all we do in the cat command in that example.txt file. So let me go ahead and press enter. In that case, the file is created. So if I try to say Chris is awesome, and I put like this one, and I can add like that another one, he is a Linux instructor, right? And you can put any other text that you want. He is 5 centimeters long, and you can go ahead and write anything you want. And if you try to escape, or you try to press Ctrl+C to move from here, and you can type ls to show this example.txt. And when you try to use the cat again, and you cut that file like this one, you will see that it will bring us the contents that are kept in here. That was for the standard output, which is denoted by 1. And while you are still here, you can't do that for the cat only. For example, I can try to list or try to do other things, and I can have to redirect them so as to have them on their specific names or output. For example, I can have to take this car as a command, and when I try to learn it like this one, it will bring this one. But there will be some cases that I will need to store that into a file, the output that I will see, and I want to store them in files. So if I want to store in a file, I can go ahead and put a direction like we did, and I can say calendar today, for example. Let me say today.txt. And when I press enter, you will see nothing will be displayed on the screen. But when you try to access the file that we saved, like this one, cat calendar today, it will bring up what it contains. And while we are still here, I'm going to show you a quick catch and a quick attention that you need to do when you are doing the redirection. And that is what we call truncating files or overwriting files. When you go back here, we were doing this one, cat example.txt, and you use the one angular sign, that's what I call it. And this one angular sign, when I try to do this again, and I can put this is the new content like this one, and I escape like this one. When I try to bring my example.txt again, I can see that the content that was previously written in this file were changed, and I have this is the new content, text only. And that is caused by that direction sign that we used as a one direction sign. And what that we do, it will truncate our file, and it will add a new entry. Okay, to fix that real quick, you can go ahead and use the double redirection sign or this angular sign, and when you do this, it will take this content of the example.txt and it will try to add other content without deleting the first content that we put earlier. Let's see this in action. When you try to press enter, and you can go ahead and let me type, this is the new content that doesn't overwrite, right? This one, like this one. When you try to leave here and you bring that again, let me say cat example, and you can see that the first content is here and the second one is here, and it doesn't overwrite anything. And I hope guys you find that you can go ahead and mess up with those. And for example, if I want to do this for calendar again, I can do the same like this one. I can put let me say let me put like this so as to make it different, and I can see today, let me output this to today calendar.txt. all right, and go ahead and press enter. When you try to cut that file, you can see that let's see if they are different. Let's see the file will equate of the same. This is called calendar.txt. okay, let's delete them so as to never mess things up. Let's see how it was written. Erase today calendar. Okay, let me create this, and we have to delete today calendar too. Okay, all right, so let's bring up the command again. So when I try to do this and I do the same for the twice, it will make 2 entries. So when you go there, you can see that there is an entry that is for this one, for the first and for the second one. You can't see it in the terminal, but when you try to access it in graphical mode, you can see the difference. Okay, and let's move on to the another stream or data stream that is called the import. And what the import do, it will try to bring back the files that we saved, and it can work in the same manner as the cut. And when you try to make cut and you use this one as input, and I can say today, and you press enter, it will have to import this one. And you can also do this, and you can input some file and you can output it in the same time or the same command. For example, let me make another file. For example, I have let me put like let me say date. Let me say like this one, and then I will call it date.txt. And here I want to use the date, for example. Okay, I can use this one, and it will have to save that date.txt file. I can try to input this one by using cut, and I will have to input the date. And I can also output the date to another thing else. For example, I can output to my desktop, and I can say I want to put it, I want to call it like Chris.txt, like this one. When I try to press enter, I wrote it in the wrong way. Let me say like this. Okay, you don't need to put a space. In this case, it will have to take the date that we outputted, and it will output the same data to our desktop, which is now called Chris.txt. So when you try to access the date.txt, you can see the content here. And if you try to access the same from desktop, let's say desktop, and you put Chris, and you can see that the contents are the same, so that you can use all this redirection to make something very fun. So you can go ahead and practice for more. And while you are here, let's see the Rust Linux stream or data stream, which is called the standard error. And the standard error will be used to output the errors. For example, I can learn a command that is not non-existent, or that it doesn't compile the way we needed, and it can display all the errors on our terminal, which is not good. That is the reason why we are going to see how to output it on something else. For example, I can choose, for example, I was about to display this car, and I can type a type like this one. I can forget to put A. When I try to put enter, it will show me all these error. But if you try to redirect it to the standard error, it will not bring that error on our screen, but it will output error to the file that we specify. For example, I am going to do the same like this one, and I will have to redirect with the option 2, and I will have to type error.txt like this one. In this case, you can see that there is no error on the screen, but when you try to bring that back this, you can see that it will give us the error that it made while it was trying to execute our command. Okay, and you can also use those types of 3 data streams in one command. And to use that, for example, let me take like I want to input something like, let me say like I want to make 2 files. For example, I want to display the car and I have to redirect to the for example car.txt. If it will be successful, I will have to redirect it to the car.txt, and I will have to put 1 to specify that it will be the standard output that doesn't make any error. And I can also redirect to if I meet with any error, so that I can call another, I can make another file that is called car error.txt, like this one. Okay, so what this will do, let me use the double signs here, so as when we try to make change, it will not truncate our commands. So what it will do here, it will take this car, it will try to display the output in this, and if it meets with error, it will be redirected to this car error.txt. When you try to press enter and you can type errors, you can see all these 2 files will be created. There will be the car.txt and there will be the car error.txt. And when you try to access the car.txt, it will be having all the information. Let's see, the car.txt. It has captured all the information about the car. And when you try to use the same, for example, let me say like car error, error like this one, and I write car, okay, and you can see there is nothing that is in that file. And you can see you can make the reverse of that by using the let me bring this again. For example, I can say that if I will be having this as a good, for example, let me put this as a typo, and in this case it will say that if it will output the things that are significant, it will be saved in this file, and if it will catch error, it will be saved in this error file. Go ahead and press enter to see this in action. In this case, when you try to go back, and you can use the cat to bring the car error, you can see that it brought all the errors. And if we try to access our car itself, it will bring the previous information that we had. Sorry, I have to put the txt, and you can see that there is no information that is changed on here. And that was for all those data streams: the standard input, the standard output, and the standard error. And you can also make the output on another terminal by you can say, for example, let me do another terminal, let me create another terminal. For example, let me do like this one, and I have 2 terminals. Okay, let me do this like this one. There will be some time that I want to, for example, we will see them on how to make and automate the tasks. But when, for example, I can make, let me say cut, and I will have to redirect this as a 1, and I'm going to say, for example, IP command .txt, write a typo, .txt like this, and I can go ahead and type IP as 1 text, and then I press enter and I exit from here. When I try to output, I can output I can input this file name and output to this terminal. And to see how it's done, you can go ahead and use cat again, and you can use the input for this IP command .txt, and I can output to the specific location that I need. For example, I have this a terminal, so to see the terminal location, you can use the TTY like this one, and to give me this path, you can go ahead and copy this, and you can paste it here like this one. When you do this, and execute, what it will do, it will bring this IP that is contained in this IP command in this terminal. It seems very stupid, but you can do this so as to see what this detection can do. And when you can go ahead and bring up this as an IP, and you can do the same. For example, I can say like, hello Chris, are you insane? Like this one. And when I try to close this and do the same for this, and you can see that it can be like a communication. So when I have the terminal and you have the terminal, you can do this, and you can do the same if you want to make it the conversation. For example, I can say like I want to make cut, and I will output to this. Let me check for this one, and this is the location. I forgot the slash, and you can make an instant messaging conversation using this one, and you can output to this one, and I can say I am not insane, right? This one. And when you try to put enter, it will do the same, and you can see that you can chat by using two terminal. Okay guys, I hope you find this very, very interesting, and you will move forward and you will see all other things. So let me pause from here so as to take a break, and then we come back for another one. Welcome back, and I am glad that you made this far. Congratulations on your progress. And so in this video we are going to continue with piping and aliases. Okay, so before we do this, I'm going to show you a demo on how we perform some things. As example, for example, I want to list my my files content like this one as a long list, and I want this long list to be saved in a file. Let's do that very quick. And I can call it like my list, my list like this one, and put .txt as an extension. And there will be the time when I will, for example, let me access my file using my graphical user interface. For example, the file that I saved on here, and it will be here on my list. Okay, and there will be the time that I will be needing to extract a special part or a special part of this file so as to display my output the way I need. Okay, and as you can see that there when you take a closer look, the files are organized in columns, and to cut through all the columns there will be another command that we're going to see in a bit that is called the cut, but it will be the cut with U instead of A. Okay, to do that we can use the cut like this one, and you can input the file that you saved, like it was called my list, right? It was called my list like this one, and after inputting this one, the cut will be given another option so as to give our output in the desired way. Okay, in that case I will use what we call delimiter. It is the option for this cut command, and the delimiter will be the synopsis on which, or it will be the rule on what it will separate or it will cut our file based on, and I will have to specify that it will be based on the space, because the space is what separates these columns. And I will have to also check the fields. The fields are the columns, and I will have to choose, for example, I want to choose the column 1. Okay, in this case, when I execute, it will go in the file, and it will input this into our cut command, and it will perform all these options for cut command, and it will choose this field 1, which is this one on this file. Okay, and to do that, it was very simple, but it is not legit, and it is not the clever way, because as long as you are doing this and you are saving a lot of files on your system, you can see that there will be a mess of files and there will be no organization at all. That is where the pipe come into play. Okay, piping involves taking one standard output and it take it as the standard input of another command. And to implement the piping, you use the pipe symbol, which is like this one. To type it, you go ahead and place on shift and backslash, And the keyboards are very different. If you are not seeing the same result as mine, you can go ahead and check if your keyboard is configured the way I configured using when I was setting my VM. And if you find that it doesn't help at all, you can go and make a research on how to use the pipe symbol. It is a very simple. It is not that hard. Okay. So, for example, when I take a closer look to the example that I was talking about, for example, I was trying to do this one, and I can do this but without inputting the file, okay? And to do that, for example, let me delete or this line, okay? I can go ahead and type, for example, rs-r to list this long command, and I can use this pipe. And what it will do, it will take the output and it will input in this cart, okay? And I will have to put the delimiter as an option for this card, and I will choose the same as I did, and I will have to specify the fields, okay, as 1, and in this case it will perform the same result, but in this case it will never save any file, okay? So when we execute it, we will bring the same, and if we want to save this file that we extracted from this, we'll go ahead and put the direction on the file that we need. For example, I can say first like this one, column, right? You can call it whatever you want, and .txt as an extension, okay? When I execute, it will not bring anything on the screen, but when we try to bring back this first, it will display all our things, okay? Let me put my first column like this one, and it will bring like that one, okay? Okay, moving on, and there will be the time when we will need to save the snapshot, or we need to save our commands structure or our commands output in the middle of piping. When you try to do that by using this method, for example, when I'm here and I can say that, okay, I can say like, all right, I want to save this snapshot before I pass it into the card, for example, and I can say that I can redirect to, for example, long.txt. And we did this for the intention of saving this, and after it will cut into the delimiter and to choose the freed one. So will this work? I don't think so. When you try to press enter, it will never bring anything unless it will have to save this long.txt and the pipeline is broken. The pipeline is broken by redirection. The redirection also, redirection is the one that can break the pipeline. So in this case, in order to execute that, we will see another command that is called t like this one, not the tea like that one that we drink in the morning another time. To do that, you can, for example, take this command like this one and r, and before we continue, I have to pipe into t, and this t will help me to save the file. For example, let me say it is long.txt. I hope it will overwrite that one, and I will have to perform the further steps in here like this one. Let me do this real quick and fill this, it will be 1, okay? And when you take a closer look, we'll have to execute this command first, and when you're in the middle of command, I will have to save this snapshot of this command, and after saving the snapshot, I will continue to the cut, and I will continue to the delimiter, and I will put all those that we did earlier, okay? When you try to press enter, it will do the same, and when you try to access our file system, you can see that the long, it contains all the information about the command that we executed, okay? Isn't this awesome? This is very interesting. Things are getting hot and interesting. So let's move to the another point. There are some commands that doesn't accept standard input. For example, the echo. Let's do this in action. For example, I can say that I want to use echo to display all of this. When I try to pipe into echo, it will bring nothing. That is because this echo doesn't accept the standard input. When you try to do this for the data too, it will do the same. For example, let me try to pipe into echo, you can see there is nothing happened. And there will be another command that we're going to see, which is called exargs. And what exargs, it will help us to fix this error, so that it will help us to convert the standard input into the command argument, so as to be working in a smooth way. Okay, let's see this in action. For example, when you try to bring this back and we put exargs in here like this one, and I type enter, and it will bring this one. And I can also put some text here like this one, hello, and it will execute those two commands. But if you try to do like this one, no matter what, you can type like this one, it will only display this hero, but it will never accept the standard input from this date command. Okay, so that we can use the exargs to fix that one. While you are still here, I'm going to show you a very massive example on what these exargs can do, and it is very insane. Okay, let's take a closer look on our lists or our files that we have here. We have this long.txt, we have my list.txt, and we have the first column.txt. I can use another file and put all the names of this file into that file, and we have to use exargs to pipe that file into the ARM, so it will delete all the files. This is sounding so strange and very hard, but it isn't. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm going to cut the file, and I'm going to call this one list to delete, like this one to delete. Okay, .txt. And inside this one, I'm going to give this long.txt file like this one. You have to spell the way they are spelled, my list.txt. And also there is now the first column.txt, first column.txt, like this one. Okay, when I press enter and exit, I'm going to show you magic here. Okay, when you try to use the cut, okay, and I will try to put my file name that I put to called files to delete, and I pass it into exargs rm. What it will do, it will try to make this, it will have to remove all these files that is specified in this folder. You know that this folder is the one that contains the names of the file that we want to delete. So when you go ahead and place enter this time, I want to see I want you to focus on what is going to happen. When I press enter, it will delete all those files, and you can see that these exargs can perform a massive things, so that you have to take a closer look on how to use this one, because it is very insane. Okay, that was all for the piping. You can go ahead and make a very detailed exercises, so as to get used to using those pipes and pipelines. Okay, and I'm going to show you another very useful topic that is called aliases. And aliases are the specific names that you can give to our commands that we customized by ourselves. For example, I can say that I need to customize my command to display, for example, all those things that we were doing there, and we can put them in a specific file, and we can name it however we need. Okay, for example, let me say I want to take my files that we delete, or okay, let's do this in action. Okay, to use aliases, there will be a specific file that you need to create in the home directory, and you will make that file hidden. To make the file hidden, you will start it with the dot. Okay, so let's go ahead and use our text editor to simplify this one. When you go in the apps and you choose the text editor with okay, let's use this one. I chose the wrong. When you try to go in the documents and you go to the text editor like this one, and then you choose it, and it will bring all this one. Let me go ahead and create a new file. Okay, and I'm going to save it. You are going to name it exactly as I'm going to do, and I'm going to start with dot, and then I will put bash like this one, and I'm going to put underscore and put aliases. All right, and you have to make that like that one. Okay, and after we do that, you can go ahead and press save, and the dot will make it hidden, so as you will not see it in the plain text. When you go in the system, you can't see it very easily. It can't be deleted or modified by anyone. Okay, you can see that it doesn't appear here, but when you try to list in the long form and including all these hidden files, you can see that this bash underscore aliases is here. So we are going to see on how you can make our own aliases. Okay, so for example, let me say that I'm going to make an alias for the command. For example, let me go and type ls-r, and I will have to t, for example, save as a long, okay, .txt, and after saving as this one, it will pass into the card and put the delimiter there, and it will be like this one. Okay, and I will choose the fields too. For example, let me say fields equal to 1, and I will have to output, for example, first a column .txt, and this is the command that we are using, and you can use this as an alias. Okay, so to use this as an alias, you go ahead and you will type alias like this one, and you will give the name of that alias. For example, let me call this Chris list. All right, and I will put echo, and I will put this, and I will go to the end of this, and I will put also this one. Okay, so when I will try to save this one, and for our aliases to run, we will need to close the terminal and open it again. For example, let me do this, or let me open the terminal again, and when I try to call my class list like this one and execute, you can see there is nothing happened on the terminal. But as we give this that will direct to our specific files, you can see that the files are created here. So if you want to see all the long, you can see that it have took a snapshot of this one, and if you want to see if the first column, and you can see that it has also done this one. You can make your own command by using aliases, so you can go ahead and mess around with this so as to see how it works, and that is now the concept on how it works. Okay, and that is on how you can make aliases. You can go ahead and make research on how you can customize your aliases, and you can perform a massive of tasks using this one. You can create your own commands, and you will have the fun around. Welcome back, and congratulations for making this far. I hope you are getting something, and you are learning and having fun too, and you are working hard as well. That is because where comes great power comes great responsibilities. Let's continue with the file system paths. The file system paths are divided into two main parts, which is the absolute path and the relative path. The absolute path will begin with a slash to indicate that the path starts at the root directory, and the relative path doesn't begin with a slash to indicate that it is a path relative to the current position of the current working directory. Let's see this in action. For example, when I try to type pwd, I will see that I am in home class. For example, if I want to move to etc folder, I can't do like this one and put etc like this. It will not work because we will have to path through the root directory in order to go to the etc folder. In that case, I will have to make what we call absolute path, and I will have to put this slash, and I will put etc like this one, and I can add another one if I want, but if I'll move it, it will work, no problem. And what this means, to change the directory and to start from the root and it will go to etc. In this case, when I press enter, it will work as I am specifying that this is the absolute path. When you try to list the content of this etc folder, you can see there is a lot of folder in here. And when you want to move from this directory to another specific directory inside this one, you will not need to start with a slash because we are in this path. So when you want to move from this path to the path that are contained in this folder, we use what we call the relative path. For example, I want to go in this opt directory. I can do like opt like this, cd like opt like this one. And as you can see, there will be no need of adding a slash in front of this file. And when I press enter, it will work no matter what, even though we didn't put it a slash. And this is the difference between a relative and an absolute path. All right, I hope you get the idea. You can go ahead and mess around with this one. You can go ahead and see if you can also do this to another folders, and you can have the fun around. All right. Let's continue to another specific topic that is called the directory listing attributes. When you are listing directory, for example, remi type rs and -r to bring a listed view, so as I will see all the files that are contained here in the list. And you can see that there will be information that are always appearing here, and you were wondering what this means. And what this means, it will, first one, we will have to take a closer look at this D. What this D means, it will means that this is a directory, because you can see that this is a desktop directory. It will start with a D. When it is a file, it will start with a hyphen, which is for the regular file. You can check for this, and you can see that it started with a hyphen. And the second part of this one, we see the permission. The permission will come in three parts. The first, there will be the owner, will end here, the group, and others. All right, that will be the permission. And the other line will indicate the number of links. You will see how to make links, the hard links and the soft links in the coming lessons. And the continuous line, which is here, it is called Chris. It will indicate the owner, and it will also indicate the group that this directory is belong to, and it will also indicate the size of that directory. It will indicate the month that it was created on. It will indicate the date. It will indicate the time, and lastly, it will describe the name of that file or directory. When you take a closer look to other contents that are here, you can see that they have the same criteria. So you can go ahead and explore to have a clue on what this means, so as you can tell yourself, okay, this is this one and this is this one. All right. While you are still here, I'm going to show you also the Linux file types. All right. And there will be the file types that are started with the hyphen, and that will be a regular Linux file. There will be the one that will be started with -r, that will be the link. There will be another file that will be started with S, and it will be a socket. And there will be the other one that starts with B, and that will be a block device. And there will be the one that starts with D, and it is the directory. In this case, we have this D, and it is the directory. And you have the other one that is specific file that are started by C, and the other one that are started by P, which are the name of the pipes. And when you are coming on the interview, or you are going to the job interview, and they ask you, oh, what is the file type is C, you will be aware of what you are going to answer, because you have passed through this one. All right. Alright, let's move to finding files and directories. There are two types of finding files and directories. The first type is to use the find command that we are going to see in a bit, and the second one is to use the locate. And we will see the other one, which is called grep, and it will be like the results will be close to the one that we have seen using the locate and find. All right. And the find command, what you can go in the manual and you can see how find is used if you want to explore more. And I have shown you how to browse for help for the command that you have seen for the first time. And as you can see, there will be a lot of things here and you can't cover all of them in one lesson. It can be like a decade of hours for explaining anything here. I can give you the concept and you have clue on what to do by using the research and using the documentation that was made by the command manufacturers or the one who made that find command or other one. Okay, so let's try to use the find. For example, let me list my contents and I can see that I have a lot of files here. I can use the find itself and I can say that I'm going to browse for anything in this folder. When I put a dot, it means the current working directory, and I can go ahead and define, for example, let me say by name, and then let me say, for example, Grace, and I will see if I will see it. And then, as you can see, to return anything, nothing, because there will be no place in this directory. And if we try to change to like music in here, let's bring back this command and put like music, you can see that it will show us that this is the current directory and have this music. And you can do this to find for the name, like for example, let me say list to delete, like this one. When I try to press enter, it will bring this one. You can also use this to find the whole system. For example, I can go in the system like this one, and that this slash indicate the root, and I can say, for example, name, let's say conf, like this one. And when we try to press enter, it will bring all this one. And as you can see, there will be some this permission denied, and don't worry. To fix that, you can you can add a sudo, this command which is called sudo, to run this in the administrator mode. When you try to press enter, it will ask you for your password. Then put it real quick. When you press enter, it will have to search for the name that is specified, and you can see there will be this conf. If you try to find anything that is called conf, and you can see that according to the size of the result, it can be taking so much time, or it can take less time according to the result that you specified. And you see that there will be some modifiers that can facilitate our result, so as to have the results that are limited, so as to avoid taking so much time to compile all the commands that we give to this one. Okay, and we can also use another command that is called locate, like this one. And if I try to, for example, let me type locate music, like this one, and wait a minute. When you see that the locate is not found, you can see all the suggestion that it is giving you, and you're going to use the suggestion that you have here to fix this one in a minute. Well, then copy this one and paste it here and execute, and you wait to bring up this one. We will cover how to handle packages in coming lessons, but let's try to do this so as to continue doing our exercises. So we have to wait for this one to be done, and let's wait. Let's see what it gives us. Alright, once this is fixed, you can go ahead and try to locate the music again, like this one, by putting like this one, music, like this one, and you can see that it will try to locate everything that is related to music. But the difference between the find and the locate command is that the locate will only work when the database is updated. The locate database is updated. We'll see how to update that one. And to understand what I mean by this one, for example, I can come in and list all the content in my home directory by using like this one. And you can see that I have this long.txt. I can go ahead and locate this one, and I will be able to see where it is located. In this case, when I try to use like this one, long.txt, it will come and show me that it is in my home directory. This is my username, and this is the name of the file. But when I try to make like another file, let me call this one, let's call this one locate me.txt, like this one. And even though you can see it in the home directory that it is located on here, it is called locate me.txt. When I try to locate it using this one, locate me.txt, when I try to locate using locate, it will not bring anything because we didn't upgrade the database. And to upgrade the database, you use what we call the command that is called update db, like this one, so that it will let's see the problem that it faced down here. Let's try to use sudo and to try to update our database. Let's wait. Right, and when you try to locate again, I'm going to locate my name that is called locate me.txt. All right, you can see that now it was able to locate our file because we used this update db command. Okay, moving on, let's see how we can modify our find command so as to have the desired results instead of having a lot of results that we don't need either. So to do that, you can specify, for example, the type of the file that you need. For example, I can say find the system, and I can give the modifier of type, and I can put F, and it will try to bring all the files that are in here. And you can see that is a massive long list of files. And go ahead and press Ctrl C to cancel this one. And you can also find by directory. When you type D, it will bring all the directory from the system, and you can see that it is a lot of files here. You can go ahead and cancel this one. All right, after canceling that one, you can also specify that you want the depth of the directories. For example, I can I want to find the system, and I want the max depth of, for example, I want the max depth of folders or the directory that are continuous. For example, I want the max depth of 2, and it will try to show me the result up to 2 levels instead of showing all the levels like we did here. And in this case, you can see that it was giving all the levels that are available, and you can go ahead and specify the level that you want. For example, I want the level up to 2, and you can see that it will bring up to 2 levels. When I specify that I want 3 levels, it will do that too. When I want for 4 levels, it will proceed like we did it, and you can do that to formulate whatever you want. And there will be another time that we will use what we call a wordcard, and they will see how to use a wordcard in the coming lessons. And I can say that I can use the name, and I can, for example, let me say that I want to find all the files, and that have the name that all files that are ending in .txt, for example, .txt. When I do this, it will bring all this one, and you can see that it's giving me the permission denied again. But we find that there will be all the files that are ended in .txt will come on here. All right, there will be another time when you want to find our files by size. For example, you can be you can try to access file by size, and by specifying the range of the size that you need, and it will be very useful when we are doing some kind of searching. And there will be some games like over the wire games that will require you to know how to find using the file size and the file type too. For example, let me go ahead and type find. I'm going to find on my system, and I will have to specify the type of the file that I want. For example, I want the file, and I will put another modifier that is called size, like this one, and I will put plus, for example, 100 KB, and it will show me all the files that are in this system that are that have the size that is plus 100 KB. If we put plus, it will have to be plus and up. If you put negative, it will be less than 100 KB. When you do go ahead and let's see what it is. Here I made an error. This is not a hyphen. You can go ahead and try to do this one. If it doesn't accept this one, you can go ahead and remove this K, and you can leave 100, and we do the same. And the trick that will come is when you will need to know all the conversions, so as to know to move from KB to kilobytes to gigabytes to megabyte or whatever. Okay, you can see that there will be a lot of files on here. You can go ahead and press Ctrl+C to cancel that or to interrupt that one. You can go ahead and also put -100 and it will bring the files that are less than 100 KB. You can see that it is scrolling. You can go ahead and press Ctrl+C to cancel this again, and there will be the time when you will see also this size that is in between. For example, I wanted the size that is in between -100 and up to for example 5,000, and it will do the same. Let's see, for example, I will put size again here, size like this, and it will do the same. You can see that it is searching, and if you are given a pattern that you want to follow too, you can go ahead and use these modifiers. All right, okay, let's cancel this too. Go ahead and press Ctrl+C, and there will be another cool trick that I want you to know, and that is to copy the result that you have seen using this find command. Okay, to copy this result, there will be another command that will be added that is called exec or OK. They are the two commands that you can use to copy the result that you get from the find. All right, for example, I'm going to go on my desktop. For example, let me go on my desktop like this one. After I do that, I can go ahead and create a folder. Let me do this one and call this all found, for example, all found, right? And I'm going to find, all right, find, and I'm going to search for all the system, and I'm going to use the type of F, and I'm going to specify, for example, the size of 100. Okay, right, let's try to learn this one. You can see it is giving me this one, and I will let me create the screen and I will show you in context, right? And I can be required to move all these files from this location to this folder that we made, and it is not moving, it's actually the copy. If we want to make a copy of this file from this location to the folder that we created on our desktop so as to make our custom results, you can go ahead and add another modifier that we're going to see in a moment, and you can add like this one, exec, like this one, right? After adding exec, and there will be the copy command. It will execute the copy command, and it will give all this bracket to specify the result that we have seen. And after, we will have to put the space, and we will put the location on where we wanted to copy our files. In this case, this is the desktop, like this, and desktop, right? And on the desktop there will be the folder that is called all found, like this. And what it will do, it will try to find the whole system. The type will be the file, the size will be 100 KB, and to execute the copy of the result, and to do that into the copy in the folder that is specified, that is located on the desktop. Go ahead and press enter. You can see that there will be there is an argument that is missing there. Let's see what it is. Go ahead and you have to tackle this one. Let's see what it is telling us. Exec cp. Let's do this like this one. Let's try to fix this, and it was giving us the errors. For example, let me try to put like a space here, and there will be another additional stuff that we need to add to put like this one, and we put this. And what it will do, that we take this exec command, it will have to take the result and to try to copy in the all found. You can go ahead and press enter, and you can see it will start copying, and there will be the direction that we will give the permission is denied. But when you try to access our all found folder or directory, let's open this one to see if there will be any file that is copied on there. can see this is still empty. We see the problem. Let's try to cancel this one. Let's see what the problem here it's faced. Desktop. Let's try to put like this, and let's try to access the data again. And you can see that there is a lot of files that are being copied here that are coming from this find command, and you can see that we were missing some spots, like here, like adding this one and adding this one and specifying that this is the loot. And you can go ahead and check whether you messed up like I did, and you can collect that in a moment so as to have the desired results. Okay, let's stop by here, and we have to come and we will show you another massive example with the grep command, and have fun around and go ahead and take a closer look on all we did, and do all the exercises and avoid errors like we did. And you can learn by making some mistake and errors. But I hope guys you find this interesting and it will be helpful enough, and I will see you guys in the next one. Welcome back, and congratulations for making this far. Please continue doing, you will be a mastery in no time. And last time I showed you how to use the find command to find all the files that you need to find on your system, and as well as the locate, and how to update the database using update db in order for the locate command to work as expected. And I told you that I will show you on how to use another command that is called grep. And the grep, written like this one, it is stand for global regular expression print. And this command is very helpful when you want to match a pattern of some files or of any kind, so as we can be able to look into file and you can find a specific word that we need. So I know that for this to be implemented, we need to let's create a simple file for this. Let me say this. Let me call this one. Let me call it like my example grep, like this one .txt. And in this file, I'm going to add like the file hello Chris. We are learning so far, like this one. I can go ahead and put another line is like Linux is awesome. And you can also try it like try to find the pattern in me, or you can also write like please make research on how to use grep like upload. Okay, this is enough. And in this case, when we try to bring back this file that we made, like it is called my example grep.txt, you can see there is a lot of text that we input in here. And you can go ahead and use grep to find a specific part or a specific portion of word that we need to look on. And in this case, when I type a grep, and I can say, okay, I want a plo, this word plo, and I want to look into the file that is called my example the grep, and you can see that it will show me the line that contains that word plo, and you can see it here. When you try to bring back this file, you can see that I was having a plo like this, like on this line, and you can see that the grep will be used to find all of this one. And there will be a lot of options when you go in the man grep. You can go there, you can see there is a lot of options that you can try. That is why I told you that you have to make the research on how to use the commands, because we can't take that long, so that we can have the clear understanding of each command or each option. You can go ahead and grab or about that one. I can show you another option. For example, if I want to match the pattern that contain a capital letter, and let's say if I try to, for example, if I try to access for the word hello, like this one, and then inside my file, you can see there's nothing returned, but you can see there was a hello that is written like this one, and we can use a notion for the ignoring of the case sensitive, so as it will return this hello too. To do that, you can go ahead and use the grep and give the option I to ignore the case sensitive, and you can put your let's say hello, and we can also import the file, and you can see that it will bring the file that contains the word hello. And you can see that this grep is very useful while we are doing this one, right? And while we are still here, I'm going to show you another cool stuff that we need to cover before we cross this session, because this will be the first session that I made for the Absolute beginners. We will be having another cool stuff along the way, but I want you to know all about the permissions of the files. Last time I was showing you that this is the directory attribute, and I was saying all about this is the directory, this is the read, write, execute, the read, and you didn't have any clue about that one. And what this means, it means that the permissions for this folder, it will be in three parts. There will be the owner of the files or the directory, there will be the group, and there will be the others. The permissions are set in three levels. The first one is the read, which have the letter 4. The second one is write, which have the letter 2, and the last one is execute, which have the letter 1. And when we are going to assign the permission on a certain file or directory, you proceed with those letters. And so if you want, for example, I was having files like here, for example, I want to change this permission. For example, I want to change that my long.txt will be accessed on all the permissions. You can see that it is a file that it is started by this hyphen, and for the owner it have read and write. For the group it has the read and the write too, but for the others it has the read only, which means that it have the permission of 4. We will be using another command that is called keymode or change mode. Excuse me. Yeah, it depends on how you pronounce this one, but this is how it's written. And you can put like the permission level that you want to set. For example, I want to set the execute for the owner, the execute for the group, and the execute for the others. For the file that is called the long.txt, like this one, when you try to press enter and you bring back the rest, like this one, you can see that these completely have been changed to those permissions. Let me see where it is. You can see that it was changed, even the color. You can see that it has the execute only, execute, which means that there is no other permission set. You can go ahead and also add like you can also add like the auto read, or I mean all write for this one, for long like this one. And when you try to bring back this one, you can see that there will be the permission that was set as write only. And you can also use the other options for like hyphens for other one, but I prefer to use the numbers. And if you want to grant all the permission, you can use like this one, and you put 3 sevens, and you can go on the long.txt. When you try to bring back this file, you will see that there will be the full permissions for anyone to read, to write, and execute the file. And it has also changed it to the green, which means that this is very successful for our files. Permissions are very important if you want to restrict some users from modifying your files or doing other things that can cause troubles. You can use this one to do that too. Okay, let's jump to the other specific topic, which is called the wildcards. The wildcards are used like this one, wildcards, right? Okay, wildcards are used for breeding what we call regular expressions, so as we can use them to match a pattern or something. For example, let me show you something of a kind. For example, I can say cat. And I can use this wildcard, and I can use, for example, .txt. And what it will do, it will try. Okay, let me explain this in context. There will be the wildcard, which is for the star. There will be this question mark wildcard, and there will be these braces, and there will be also this one. There will be these square braces. And this one, what it will do, it will output all things that we have that match the criteria that we will give after. And the second one, which is the question mark, it will return everything but according to the positional places that we will see. And this one will match the pattern that we will give, and it will have to take a length of the result that we need. And this one will be working as we try to give the pattern like we used in the grep or other things. For example, let me say I want to list. For example, let me say I want to list or, and I can put all things that are on the desktop, and I can put like this one. And when I put this one, it will try to let me see if it will try to do this. It will try to list all things that are on the desktop, and the file that are starting with DE, and to try to list all things that are contained in there. For in this exercise, you can see that you have the desktop that is it have the D.DE, it has the DE, and there will be other things, and you have these documents, it have DOC, and you have the downloads. If you try to do, for example, for D only, and can take or after D, you can see that it will output what it is on the desktop, on the documents, and on the downloads. And if we try also to, for example, to list the content, or to let's say, for example, I want to delete, for example, let's delete all the text file that are contained on there. I can do like this one, RM, and I can use the recursive delete, and I can put star, which is this one. When I put txt like this one, it will delete everything that have the extension of the txt. So you have to pay attention when you are going to do this. When you press enter, they will be deleted, and when you try to list again, you can see that there is no txt file that is contained on there. And that was for the star with card. It is used to take or without any other criteria. For example, let's jump to the question mark with card. For example, let me make file, and I can call it, let me call this chris.txt, and I can type hey, hello. This is enough for the demonstration purpose. I can make another one, and I can say ok.txt, and I can cancel this one. I can make another one, and I can call it like 3.txt, .txt, like this one. And when you try to list, you can see that we have, or let's use this one instead. You can see that we have the 3.txt, the chris.txt, and the ok.txt. So we are going to try to locate all those one in here, so that it will try to match the pattern that we give by using the question mark. In that case, you can use like let's try to cut them again, cut, or that have the two positional places that have the txt, and you can see that it will try to cut the file that have this length of the file that we have as a placeholders. When you try to press enter, you see that there will be no one. Let's see if there is no one. You can see there is ok.txt. I don't know why it did that. It didn't bring anything. Let's because that is because the file doesn't contain any content. But when you try to list or that have this txt, you can see that we have this ok.txt. If we try to list the one that have only one positional place, you can see that there will be this 3.txt. If I want to list the one that have like ls with 3 positional places and the extension, you can see that there is no one. When you try for the 4, there we go, you can see there is no one. But when you try to, let's see the one that we have here, 5, okay, and you have to put 5, you can see that the chris.txt will come back here. And there will be another core topic that is called the braces of expansion, like this one. It is called the braces of expansion, like this one, and this works on the touch command and the mkdir commands. For this to be working as we need, we are going to take an example. We are running by example. Let's say that I have a project that will take like 6 months. 6 months project. Let's type this here. Let me put cut, and we have a 6 months project, right? And each month will be having 30 folders for each action a day, right? And each folder will be containing 100 files. So we are going to try to implement this one. So it means that we have to make we have the 6-month project, and in each month we have the 30 folders that will represent the folders that we keep the records of the day, and in each folder there will be 100 files in each folder. So to implement this one, you can use the braces of expansion, and it can be very easy for us. To do that, I can give you, for example, one example before we do that. Let me say I want to make like a folder from 1 up to 3. For example, I want to make McNeil Chris. For example, I want to make 1, and I want to make Chris 2, and I want to make Chris 3, like this one. This is how it can be implemented, why we are using the normal way. In this case, it will make 3 folders: the Chris 1, the Chris 2, and the Chris 3. When you try to access this, you can see that there will be Chris's folder. Let me go ahead and then remove all the Chris's folder that we have. Right, using this one, and in this case you can see that there is no Chris folder that is a variable here, but instead we have the file. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and create this by using the braces of extension. I can use it like this, and I can put Chris, and I can put this, and I can put from 1 up to, for example, let me say 10. And what it will do, it will try to make a folder which is called Chris. It will start from 1 up to 10. When I press enter and try to list, you can see that I have Chris 1, Chris 2, Chris 3 up to 10. And you can also use the alphabet like this one. You can use, for example, I want to from A, and I put Z, and this will work too. When I try to list, you can see there will be a massive of folders in this directory. Okay, and you can go ahead and delete them by using a root card like I showed you, like using Chris like this, and there will be no Chris folder in there, and we are good to go. So to avoid any kind of but while we are going to perform this massive example, we are going to avoid any kind of mess. So we're going to create another folder. Let's call this one find me, right? And we go in the find me folder, and this is where we are going to do. To do that, we can use the braces of expansion, and I can say, for example, January, and I will put February, and I will put March, and I will put April, and I will put May, and I will put also June, and this will be all the month that we have to implement our project in. And in this case, I can also put underscore, and I will put the days. I want the day from day 1 up to day 30. And I can do like this one. All right. And when I do this, it means that it will take January, and it will take the 1 date up to 30. After I do that, it will take the February. This is the simple method that we can go ahead and implement, and we will see that in a moment. When I am going to try and execute this one, let's try to do this. Let me press enter. You can see that there will be this one that it didn't find anything. Let's see why it failed. I forgot to put mkdir. Oh, crazy me. Sorry for that one. mkdir like this one. It will make the directory like that one. When you press enter, it will execute like that. And when you try to list OMG, you can see that there will be a massive folders in here, and you can see that for the January we try it from 1 up to 30, and you can go ahead and sort them according to the basis that you need, and you can see that we have all those folders implemented. All right, let's stop here for the part 1 that was for absolute beginners, and I hope guys you get something from this, and we will be continuing with another part, so keep in touch.